Hello everybody! I have been wanting to do a just sit down chat video about thrift for a really long time. Mostly about the controversies about thrifting, negative things people say about it, just kind of the stuff that people argue about in the world of thrifting right now. Yes, people are finding ways to come for thrifting. I just want to put everything on the table and sort it out. I've been thinking about doing this for so long. I started researching stuff about this last year and I've been putting things in my notes. I filmed this already in January and I didn't like it. I wanted to do more research. So this is something that I've been thinking about for a while and compiling links and things to share with you. And that will all be in the description below. So buckle up because we're going to talk about fast fashion. We're going to talk about recycling. We're going to talk about donations and how to donate. We're going to talk about the negative things people say about thrifting and all of that. And something that I think I want to make very clear here is that I don't want anybody to feel like they're being shamed or that they are doing it wrong by supporting bigger companies that have new clothes, buying new clothes. I don't want anyone to feel guilty for that. This little collar here is a fast fashion brand. This hat was a fast fashion dollar store brand. This is from Target, thrifted and upcycled by me. So I really have a blend of things going on here and I want to be completely transparent about that because I am not here to tell people that because they shop at H&M, they're the worst. That's not me. That is not my channel. You know, I have a blend of things here and we're gonna just dive into all of that. I gotta speak up. I gotta say some things about it too. I've got some opinions. So let's get into it. In the world of thrifting right now, we have people who are resellers. They source their clothes from all over to be able to resell them either in their online shop, which is what I do on a small scale. And I mean, I literally just will buy something and if it doesn't fit me, I throw it into my web shop. That's the extent of it. I tried opening a little thrift store, go watch that video. If you're interested in learning more about that, I ended up not going forward with it because it was just too much to maintain. I know people who that's their bread and butter. That's their living. That's how they pay their bills. That's how they pay their rent, is they go find the goods and they resell it. Shops I love that are vintage resellers, that's how they make their money. Or by donations. People will bring in clothes, which I think would honestly be the ideal way for them to get their items, but that takes all the fun out of it. A lot of times people who get into this business love thrifting so much that they want to turn it into their career by opening up a shop. So everyone's story is different, and just I think having a little bit of grace with the fact that a lot of people are just trying to figure out how to make ends meet. Maybe they started out selling a few things online and it was doing so well and they had good taste and a good eye for things, because also think about when you go to the thrift store, there's probably a handful of stuff that you didn't catch, that you went right by, didn't even see it. And a reseller, because they're so trained to look at every single thing and really know what's good and what's going to sell, that they'll grab it and it's no loss. Really, it's no loss. So I say support the resellers. They're considered small businesses too, and they're people who are just trying to get by like the rest of us. So be kind to them, but I do understand this is where I struggle. Vintage is getting harder and harder to find, and as somebody who loves going thrifting to find vintage, I pretty much don't anymore, and that makes me want to cry because that is what I love to do. It's like treasure hunting and finding a little vintage piece. Now when I see vintage, it's incredibly marked up at a antique store or a shop, and that breaks my heart. So that's just something that I don't find them at the Goodwill anymore, or the Goodwill will keep all that vintage until Halloween, and that's when they put it out. They hoard it until Halloween, and that nothing makes me more upset than that, okay? That would be like a 20-minute rant alone. Don't get me started on the lack of dressing rooms. Don't get me started on no toilets. Don't get me started on return policy. Don't.
Don't even get me started.
I get very upset about it. So basically, my whole thing with thrifting and finding vintage is I've switched gears, and I'm now, if I find vintage, great, but I'm more now into upcycling clothing into something that I enjoy. So if I see a dress that's from Target that is cute but not 100% me, like this one that I have on right now, I upcycled this. I didn't love the length of it. I thought it needed to be more twee style, I guess. I hate that though, the term twee, because I'm a 40-something-year-old woman and trying to explain my personal style is so annoying. Like, do I have to? Can we just let me dress how I want because it makes me happy and just leave that alone? I feel less guilty about it because taking vintage and repairing it is one thing, but cutting vintage is a no. So I would not do that. This piece right here in the window, that right there, would never touch. I would repair it if it got a hole in it, but I would never do that. That is a 1960s dress I got when I was in Ashland, Oregon. Go watch that video if you want to watch how I sourced that dress, and I love it so much I don't even want to wear it because I don't want it to spill anything on it. But you know what? She needs to get out. I need to take her out for a little spin. Maybe go on a date night with my husband and wear it. But upcycling is the direction that I've gone. Embroidery on clothing is where I'm at right now. And I just continue to evolve when it comes to what I thrift and what I find at thrift stores. I don't only shop in thrift stores. I do go shopping at department stores. I love Nordstrom when I'm looking for, it's basically loungewear, underwear, and undergarments. Like, that's what I most, and shoes. Those are the things I usually get at department stores. And then online, I shop on Cider. I like Cider. I think it's got cute stuff. It's fast fashion though, so those things do bother me, and you start to become a little bit more aware of it when you consider if the clothes are even good for you to be wearing. Like, how are they made? What chemicals were they put in? Like, scares me. So knowing that information is important. I need to look into Cider a little bit more and figure out how they are. H&M, I like to get my basics at H&M. I like to get jeans from H&M. I can't find jeans at thrift stores because, as you guys saw in that video, another one I'll put up, I'm gonna be linking a lot of videos, the jean dilemma that I had finding any pants. I couldn't do it at thrift stores. I bought like 3 pair of jeans that I've got at Goodwill or Value Village, and I haven't been able to wear them because they don't fit, because I can't try pants on in the store and then it's too late to return them, or the return policy is only a credit. Those things just piss me right off. Or if say you have an event or something, that was another thing. I tried going thrifting for an event dress. I ended up just wearing something that I already had, that I had found at a boutique that was a thrift boutique. It was used luxury, and that was what the dress was that I ended up wearing, and I bought it ages ago. So I struggled with that too. Thrift stores aren't always going to be the answer for what you're looking for, but when you're looking for just casual outing, you just want to go shopping, you got the shopping itch, you just want to go, you want to get something, you want to look cute, you want new spring clothes, thrifting is a great way to do it. I would say the Goodwill bins is a great way to do it, because you can really stock up on your wardrobe if you go to the bins and have the patience for digging in the bins. The bins is the Goodwill's outlet store, where things get pulled from the rack after they've been in the store for too long, or for whatever reason. They decide that they're just going to pull it from the racks and they throw it in the bins. So it's just piles and piles of clothes that were in the Goodwill store that are now in the outlets. A lot of things are still tagged from the original pricing, so you can see what you're saving, which is kind of exciting, because you're like, oh my god, this was like $10 and I'm paying by the weight of this shirt. So if the shirt weighed like an ounce, then you're paying pennies for it. Those are the kinds of things that get my little thrift soul excited. So you could try the Goodwill bins if you are on a budget and you're wanting, say you have a family, say you have a teenager and you really want to stock up. That's a great way to do it. You can also go on OfferUp, and people are giving clothes away there. I often will be putting clothes on OfferUp and just say, come and get it, free clothes for family. If you have a daughter, size medium, large, come and get it. And I know that really helps people out. So there's just different ways to dispose of your clothes, but we're going to get into disposing of your clothes a little bit later. Another thing that I hear going around sometimes, because I do follow some thrift accounts, is people saying in the comments that thrifting is gross. And I laugh every time I see that, because I'm thinking, this person have they never slept in a hotel bed? Like, you're sleeping in sheets that someone else has worn that has had to be washed. It's no different. You're not getting a brand new bed and a brand new sheet set and pillow. So that I don't even entertain. This whole thrifting is gross, you're wearing someone else's clothes. Now, I do sometimes have issues with shoes that look like they've been heavily worn barefoot. I don't know why. I just cannot put my foot on that. I just won't. With shoes, it's weird. I don't want toe sweat from other people in my toe sweat. But you can buy them still wipe them down really good, spray some sanitizing spray on them or whatever it is that you want to do, leather cleaner, whatever you need to do to make them nice, and then put new inserts in them so you can still make them feel fresh and new for yourself. So most of my cowboy boots one pair of my cowboy boots is used and I just put a new insert in it. So, that's up to you. Again, you're not sleeping in a brand new hotel room every time. You are sleeping where somebody else has drooled in their sleep on their pillow. Having key pieces that you'll love and treasure for a long time, and not just buying fast fashion that's cheap and throwing it away or throwing it at the thrift stores, because the thrift stores are filling up with Shein. I cannot with the amount of Shein at the thrift stores, and soon, if we keep this up, that's all we're going to have. So if we're all spending a little bit more time buying more quality pieces, thoughtfully figuring out where we're getting stuff from. I know we can't afford to buy these really lavish, expensive pieces all the time from these brands that are, high end, but even Nordstrom has like beautiful pieces that are affordable. You invest a little bit more into it than you would fast fashion, but then you can really treasure it, and then when you're done with it and you decide to donate it, someone else gets to enjoy it. So I just want to see less Shein is all. That's all I'm saying. And can we please tell the thrift stores to stop marking Shein up? It was cheap already. It should be free. They should be giving it to us. You should walk up and when you check out, they give you a free piece of Shein if you want it. Not to say I don't have a couple things in my closet that Shein, I do. I have a couple things. And I'm not just throwing Shein under the bus. This is just all fast fashion across the board. Like anything Forever 21, stuff like that. If it ends up in the thrift store, I'm not going to spend a bunch of money on it. It would have to be a really, really, really nice piece for me to even consider it. Now, as far as disposing and donating your stuff, there's a few things I think that we're starting to hear going around more. Donating your stuff to a thrift store, it's becoming a problem. We are now seeing thrift stores loading up truckloads and sending it overseas to other countries and making them deal with it. Brandy Hellville is a movie that I watched that was really eye-opening to the fast fashion, where it goes. A foundation called the OR Foundation, helping Ghana with this issue and keeping their market sustainable and spreading the word about just, the issue with all of this stuff just washing up on beaches. There's a lot of different ways that you can go about it. If you feel like the clothes isn't worthy of a thrift store, we need to start thinking about, is this something that if I hadn't already worn it and gotten sick of it, would buy if I saw it in a thrift store? If the answer is no, then maybe consider textile recycling. Take it to a textile recycling center instead. That would be great, because now then things aren't going to the thrift store that even the thrift stores don't want. So there's that. There's also something called the Blue Jeans Go Green organization that will take those and turn it into insulation for homes, dog beds, I think stuffing for dog beds. I'll link everything below because I have a ton of things I've saved for this video, but they take blue jeans and they recycle them into other things. So it's really cool, because if you have a pair of jeans maybe that wouldn't be something that you think anybody would buy at the Goodwill, or maybe you're just trying to keep things out of these larger corporate thrift stores, then you can consider recycle them or donate them here and they put it to good use. There's also a company called Mud Jeans, and they are a circular denim company. So they're using, so if you were to buy jeans, you can buy them from here knowing that you're buying recycled jean material, fabric and jean materials, and they are sustainable and really doing the work on trying to change the way we see shopping for jeans. There's an amazing article by the New York Times. It's called How to Get Rid of Old Clothes, and that's where I found a lot of the stuff that I've mentioned in this video. It's got some great resources and links to different things that offer some options on how to properly dispose of your clothing instead of just dropping it off at the Goodwill. Because as we know, that can also end up at a dump. There is also something called the Good On You rating. If you want to know if the companies that you're supporting are doing any sort of work towards trying to be more green or eco-aware. It's the Good On You directory, and you can check any of your brands and see if they're like doing good or like really bad. And the ones that are on the really, really bad, I'm like, oh no, I don't want to shop there. So that's up to you and your decisions, but it does help narrow it down and give you a little insight too on like what brands are telling us they're doing stuff, but really they're not. Like that's called greenwashing, where they make it seem like they're organic and natural and green, and there's terms that people can use that mean absolutely nothing, that doesn't mean anything about their brand and their values. There's also a place called bettercotton.org, and they are known for using cotton fabrics that are organic, and a lot of people say that they're using cotton and it's like this, that, and the other about how it's produced, but the way that it's produced is actually very chemically involved, and so the workers that work at these places their health is at risk. It's just kind of, just go look at their website and you'll get more information if that's something that interests you. And it also was a movie, The True Cost is the movie, so watch that. I think it's either on Amazon or Netflix, but check out The True Cost, and that'll give you so much information on yeah, just like fast fashion and how it's affecting the world and things you can do to change that, or try to make some changes in your life. I think if we all made little changes, we can all be helping in some way. So I think just making your efforts, your best efforts, is really all I'm trying to say here. And if I had billions of dollars or millions of dollars, the first thing I would do would be to open up a thrift store the size of the Goodwill, and I would do it right. I would really take care of the customer. I would treat the customer like they're, you know, important to me, because I feel like the Goodwill doesn't and the Value Village does not. One's a non-profit, one's a for-profit. None of that really matters as much to me, whether it's non or for. I know that it's annoying that Value Village is a for-profit and still doesn't give us dressing rooms.
Don't even get me started.
The Goodwill, I can understand if they're trying to say that they're a nonprofit. I kind of understand it, but the dressing rooms, I can see them. They're right there. They're right there. They used to be open before the pandemic. They're right there. Just open them back up. They put a rack in front of it, and it's unused space. It's so stupid. It drives me crazy. We need to like have a blackout day, Goodwill blackout day, where we don't shop there until they open the dressing rooms. Can we put this together, everybody? Somebody get them to open up the freaking dressing room so I can try on pants. Anyway, that is it for this little thrifty chat video. I hope that you may have taken something away from this. I think the main thing is just have fun, get out there, thrift, buy what you want, just be a little bit more aware of when you donate, what you're donating, where to properly get rid of some things. Read that New York Times article. I think it would be really helpful to a lot of people to read that article. If you have anything you would like to add, please by all means add it to the comment section. I'd love to have an open discussion about your opinions on just where we're at with the thrift trends. But thank you so much for watching, and please do subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.